Good morning. It's Monday morning, start of another week. We had a great day yesterday worshiping together. It was just a great time of worship. Even though it was a great day all around us with the sun and the breeze, just beautiful. You can see the video if you haven't already online, and sent it out on the Flock Note yesterday. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. And to make it even better, we had the band was back together. Susan was on a keyboard supplied by the Rotens, thank you. And Susan played for us, and Andrew was there with technology. You can see the picture of both of them on this note right up above the video. So anyway, we had a great time, and we explored what Christian ministry really is. And I mentioned that ministry is simply service. It's not the preacher or the missionary only. Ministry is anything you do that serves someone other than yourself. And to have the same mindset that Jesus did when he came, not to be served, but to serve and to give his life. And that's what I challenged you all to do, and I challenge myself to do, to serve someone else other than myself. And the four ministries in particular that I focused on from the book by Dietrich Bonhoeffer were the ministries of listening and helping and bearing and proclaiming. Listening, the importance of active listening to someone else's problems and concerns and needs. Helping in practical ways, someone who needs you, who needs help, needs a hand. Bearing someone else's weight, taking someone else's problems and weights, the things that are weighing them down, and helping to bear those with them. And then finally, proclaiming the word in whatever form that takes. So we looked at those, and I shared a story. I want to share it one more time, just in case you weren't there for the service, didn't see the end of the service. It happened up there on the bridge above me. About 5:30 yesterday morning, I was driving to the church just to set up some stuff. It was early in the morning, and I drove. I was about in the middle of the bridge, the Memorial Bridge from Portsmouth to Kittery, and I saw a seagull right in the middle of the road. And I didn't think anything of it, because usually when that happens, a bird is feeding on something in the road, and the closer you get with your car, it'll fly away. Well, this one didn't fly away because it couldn't fly away. It had clipped a wing somehow, and one of its wings was hanging off its body. It was just a terrible, terrible sight, and it couldn't walk. When it tried to walk, it stepped on the wing, and it was obviously painful. And so I managed to, I pulled the car over, put my flashers on, and I managed to kind of move the bird, not with my hands, but kind of urged it to the side of the road onto the walkway, so that it would not get run over. I made some calls. I called Abby, and we brainstormed a little bit. I made some calls and couldn't find anyone to come out and rescue a seagull at 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Wasn't surprised. And so, as much as I wanted to do something for that bird, I finally decided to drive away. And before I did, I prayed a prayer. I said, God, you care about the birds. You feed the birds. They don't have any needs. You care for them. Jesus said that. And so I said, care for this bird when I'm gone. And I drove off. And God taught me a lesson through that. This was before we ever got together to worship and think about ministry and serving. But the lesson I learned is that the most effective ministry, indeed all real ministry, is the work of God. It's not your work or my work. Even though God sometimes chooses to include us and use us, and that's thrilling when he does that, when you can be a part of changing someone's life. But the only work that matters, the only work that will last, is the work of God in someone else's life. And so sometimes, even though you might listen and help and bear someone's weight and proclaim the word, you don't see a change, and you might have to just move on. with your life. You might have to just move on, pray, and ask that God would continue to work in that person's life. Because in the end, it's not your work anyway, it's God's work. And so that's not a bad place to leave someone, if you have to leave them, in the hands of God. Because the most effective work, all true ministry, is the work of God. So I share that one more time, and I hope you have a wonderful Monday. We have some things coming up, don't we? We have a barbecue on Sunday. I hope you'll not only come, but you'll bring someone with you. We can fill up that place and have a great time together. The church supplies the meat, the rolls, the beverage, the chips, and some condiments, and you do all the rest. You just bring sides and salads and desserts to share with your family. And then we have a fishing trip on August 15th. That's a Saturday. And call Emery King or send me a note if that's something you're interested in. You're going to go, because we need to get some numbers together. So a lot happening, a lot going on. And we wouldn't have it any other way, would we? So have a wonderful Monday. Good start to your week. God bless.